Hello and welcome to Vinyasa Flow. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks. You may want to use a strap as well. And let's start in a comfortable seat in hero's pose. So placing your knees in front of you and pointing your toes back. Either sit directly on your calves or grab a block to sit on, placing the block right between your ankles. As you're getting situated, here is a quote by Michael Stone from the book, The Inner Tradition of Yoga, a guide to yoga philosophy for the contemporary practitioner. Does our yoga practice superficially cover up our miseries and distract us from the deeper work of the heart? Are we in love with the truth of life, or are we in love with the image we see in the mirror? What is really important to us? Our back bends, arm balances, and the opinions that others have of us? When we come close to the end of this life, will our yoga practice have served us well? Will we pass into the unknown completely calm and joyous, full of love for all beings? Or will we have regrets? Some big questions, quite a bold quote. But it brings me to the practice of satya, which is the first limb practice of truthfulness, right? Really being honest with ourselves. Like, what are our motivations to show up in our yoga practice? And are they sustainable? Are they deeply rooted from somewhere within that brings us to the bigger picture of what we want in life, our core beliefs? And it also reminds me of the kleshas, the root causes of suffering identified in the Yoga Sutras. One particular klesha called asmita. You might remember that means egoism, or the misidentifying of ourselves as the voice of our ego. I think we talked about in our last session how two of the root causes of suffering was being pushed and pulled by the ego's wants or attachments and things that it wants to run after, and the ego's aversions, what it wants to run away from and avoid. And being on this pendulum swing, again, forgetting our true nature, that which is observing what's going on, it's easy to get caught up in the conversations and the inner talk of the ego. Not to say that the ego is completely a bad thing, right? And I don't even like to use the word bad or good, but it's being aware of where that voice is coming from, being aware of the conditions that affect our reality so that we can make conscious choice. So what is your intention for showing up to your practice today and each time? What is the bigger picture? What is it that you want to nourish your whole being with? So let's sit with that for a moment as you start to bring more attention to your physical body, noticing its posture and the way that it's breathing, how you're feeling energetically, mentally, and emotionally. And then allow some deeper breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really getting down with self-honesty to the root of your practice, to what deeply inspires you to show up. And how you're showing up to your practice impacts the world around you, your relationships, your presence. And with that, begin to clarify your intention, your bigger picture. And stepping outside of our individual selves, choose somebody or a group of somebody's or a cause that you would like to dedicate your practice to today. And joining together our voices Let's chant 3 ohms. Inhale deeply. Closing your lips, let's start to breathe slowly and evenly through the nose, creating a gentle whispering sound by softly narrowing the back of the throat. With this, beginning to practice Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing technique. See if you can stay connected to that even, slow sound rhythm in your breath through much of this physical practice. And as you root down to your left and right sitting bones, bring your fingertips onto your shoulder heads, bending the elbows apart, and breathe in. Sit up a little bit taller, but keep the shoulders relaxed. Hug in the front ribs. Exhale, keep the pelvis still, and twist to your right. Inhale, back to center. Sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, twist to the left. Let's try 2 more rounds. Inhale, center, lengthen the spine through both ends. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, focusing the twist along your waistline. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. And then from here, let's slide the legs in front and take your strap, step the ball of your right foot into the loop of the strap. Extend your left leg forward, and holding the strap in your left hand, place your right hand on the ground behind your pelvis. Sit up tall and kick into the strap, flexing the right foot off the floor as you pull the strap. So you might straighten the leg, you might not. Just see what you're ready for without straining. Flex the left foot too and lengthen up through the center of your spine. Breathe in. As you exhale, reach your right arm behind you off the floor and twist to the right. 2 more breaths. Inhale, press down to your left and your right sitting bones. Lift through each vertebra, through the back of your skull and crown. And then exhale, keeping the pelvis still, continue to twist. And if your neck feels okay with it, maybe gaze past your right thumb. 1 more breath. So this is a seated variation of revolved hand to big toe pose. You could also hold your outer foot if that's reachable. And then let's set the right foot down, remove the strap. Step the ball of your left foot into the loop. Hold the strap in your right hand. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. Flex both of your feet. Press down to your 2 sitting bones. Kick into the strap as you lift the foot off the floor to whatever degree you can comfortably straighten the leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine upright. Exhale at your waistline, twist to the left, reaching the left hand back. Inhale, press towards the ground to lift up. Exhale, keep rotating your rib cage and notice that your frontal hip bones continue to face forward. They're not twisting with you. 1 more deep breath. Maybe look past the left thumb. And exhale, remove the strap. And let's make our way to the top of the mat, standing in a forward fold. You may want to place your blocks to frame the front of your mat as well. Set your feet apart, hips distance or wider and parallel to each other. Bend your knees a lot as you clasp your hands behind your lower back or hold a strap between the hands and fold. Tune into your breath as we stay here in a variation of Uttanasana for a few breaths. Stretching the arms forward, broaden across your chest, and lift the shoulders up away from the ears, softening the back of your neck. Now you might like to keep at least a little bend in the knees to support your lower back. Press your fingertips either on the ground in front of your feet or on blocks. And inhale, stretch your spine forward towards a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees more and place your hands on your hips, point the elbows towards the sky. Inhale, press down through the feet. Keep the belly active as you rise slowly to mountain pose. Join your hands together at your heart. And let's begin to flow. Sun salutation C to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms forward. This time, roll your shoulders behind the ears and down, coiling your chest up into a back bend, hugging the front ribs in. Exhale, bow from your hips and plant your fingertips on the floor. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, look up. Holding your breath, step back to plank pose with legs straight or knees on the ground. Exhale, lower your knees, then your chest and chin, sticking the tailbone up in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide all the way to the ground, then coil your chest up into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, press up, and lift your pelvis back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward beside your left thumb and lower your back knee, look up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise into a standing back bend, coiling the chest up. Exhale, join your hands to meet at your heart. Once more, inhale, sweep your arms overhead and roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your fingertips and inhale, step the right knee back, look up. Hold your breath and step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide to the ground and roll the shoulders back, Cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes and lift the hips back, downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb and lower your back knee, look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and coil your chest up. Exhale your hands to meet at your heart. Let's flow through a couple of sun salutation A's. Inhale your arms forward, same standing back bend. Lengthen the tailbone down between your heels. Exhale, forward fold. Press your fingertips down. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. Walk to plank pose, keep the belly engaged. And exhale as you glide forward, bend your elbows to hug your ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower all the way for Cobra or flip your toes here and coil the chest to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's hold still, steady your gaze on one spot for 3 deep breaths. After you finish the third exhale, walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Then inhale, press the ground to your blocks and lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press to your feet and sweep your arms forward to rise, gently back bending. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Let's take it through one more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhales, sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the chest, Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank to lower or lightly jump to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's pause here for 3 breaths. Roll the triceps down and give your shoulders some space across. Soften the back of the neck and lift the shoulder blades back. Keeping your 2 hips leveled in height. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Now as you exhale, rounding to plank, bend the knee high towards your nose, lift the belly, round the back. Then gently step the foot beside your right thumb, coming into a high lunge. Stay on the ball of the back foot. As you breathe in, rise up to crescent lunge. Now keeping your 2 hips facing forward, Backstroke the right arm towards the back wall and stretch the left arm towards the front wall like a T. Turn your chest to the right. Next inhale, sweep the right arm down and forward, arms overhead again to crescent lunge. Spin the back heel down, align right heel to arch of left foot, and exhale, open the arms to warrior two, gazing past the right thumb. Keep the right knee bent and rotate the right palm up. Inhale, sweep the right arm towards the back wall, side bending in peaceful warrior. Exhale, lower your hands to plank pose and continue to your vinyasa or cat-cow. Then downward facing dog. Keeping your two hips facing the ground or squared. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Lift the belly high as you exhale to round your back, bending the knee towards your nose. Step the foot lightly beside your left thumb and stay on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, rise to crescent lunge. Keep your hips facing forward and backstroke the left arm to the back wall, right arm towards the front wall. Exhale, twist to the left, keeping the spine vertical. Sweep the left arm down and forward. Inhale the arms overhead, crescent lunge again. Then spin the right heel down, align left heel to arch of right foot. Exhale to warrior two, open the arms, gaze past the left hand. Rotate the left palm to face up. Inhale, side bend towards the back wall, reaching the left arm overhead. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, lower your hands to the ground and continue down into your vinyasa or cat-cow. Downward facing dog. Let's pause for 3 breaths. Feel into your physical sensations as they are. How is your body responding right now to the way you're approaching your breath and movements? Let's take the same sequence one more time as we prepare for more spinal twists. From downward facing dog, slowly inhale and raise the right leg behind you, keeping your hips leveled. Exhale, round and lift the belly high, stepping the foot forward to a high lunge. Inhale, root to your feet and rise to crescent pose. Backstroke the right arm. Exhale, twist to the right, arms open. Inhale, raise your arms, come back to crescent pose. Drop the left heel. Exhale, open the arms to warrior two. Sweep the right palm up. Inhale, peaceful warrior towards your back wall. Lower your hands to the earth and exhale, continue down into your vinyasa of choice. Downward facing dog. With hips leveled, inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Lifting the belly high, exhale, round and step the left foot beside the left thumb. High lunge. Root to your feet, inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Backstroke your left arm, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, forward again to crescent lunge. Drop the right heel, exhale, open to the right, warrior two. Sweep the left arm back, inhale, peaceful warrior. Lower your hands to the earth, exhale, lower into your vinyasa. Downward facing dog, or maybe child's pose. Give yourself 3 breaths to be still and observe. Now, back to downward facing dog. Again, keep your hips leveled and inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend the knee towards your left elbow or tricep and stack your shoulders evenly above your wrist. Gaze forward. Step the right foot beside the right thumb and lower your back knee. Sweep the arms up into a kneeling lunge. See that your legs are as wide apart as your hips. Each leg has a separate lane on your mat. Your two hips are evenly facing forward, and your front knee is right on top of your front heel. Preparing a twist, cup the top of your right thigh with your right hand and keep your right leg still as you breathe in to stretch your spine down the midline of your mat. Keep your pelvis still as you exhale to turn your chest to the right, either lowering your left hand directly under your left shoulder on a block or the ground and raising the right arm up, or hooking the left elbow outside your right thigh and either joining your hands in prayer or opening your arms apart, or wrapping, taking a bind if you practice that. And then here you could either tuck your toes and lift the back knee towards a high lunge, or keep the back knee on the ground. Find a variation that is appropriate for your practice right now. And let's stay a few breaths. As you inhale, continue to lengthen your spine forward from the pelvis, tracing the midline of your mat. Then the shoulders down the back. As you exhale, hug your outer hips towards your midline, keeping your pelvis still. See if you might be able to rotate your rib cage further to face the right. Couple more breaths in this variation of revolved side angle pose. Harita Parshvakonasana. Stay in your twist and look at your right toes. Then lower your hands to frame your right foot, hands on blocks or the floor. Step the left foot about 6 inches forward to a shorter stance, but keep each foot in their separate lane. Drop the back heel, straighten both legs, feel both hips evenly facing forward. Now spread your toes and activate the front muscles of your thighs, your belly, and inhale, stretch your spine forward like a flat back, sending the shoulders back. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips for a few breaths in pyramid pose. Parshvakonasana. Now, as you breathe in, lift your chest so that you can parallel your spine to the floor. Keep the left hand down right under the left shoulder. Use your right thumb to press the right outer hip back, keeping the hips leveled so you're not turning the pelvis. Begin to turn the rib cage to face the right wall again. Another spinal twist. Raise your right arm towards the sky. This is a revolved triangle pose, or Parita Trikonasana. If your balance feels pretty stable, you could place your left hand on the right side of your front foot. Turning the rib cage, keeping the pelvis balanced. Invite your shoulders and wrists to stack in one line. Let's tune into the breath here for a few more breaths. Stay in the twist, look down at your right foot. Place your hands on your two blocks at their tallest height. Bend the right knee gently and step the blocks 1 foot ahead of your right foot. Keep your two hips facing the ground and flexing the left foot, lean all your weight into your right leg and lift the left leg parallel to the floor, torso parallel to the floor, lifting the navel in. Supported warrior 3. Imagine your inner left heel was firming against the back wall and your crown was stretching towards the front wall. Keep your legs in their separate lanes. And let's prepare for one more twist here, revolved half moon. Walk the left block 1 foot in front of your right big toe. Again, use your right thumb to draw the right hip back as you press the left heel back and reach the crown of your head forward. Lengthen as you inhale. Keep your pelvis still, and exhale, twist along your waistline to the right, raising your right arm up into Parita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Breathe in, and lengthen through the center line of your body. Breathe out, continue to twist. Staying in your twist, look down at the blocks, place both hands down and walk the blocks back towards your right foot. Step the left foot all the way to the back of your mat into Warrior One. Bending the front knee, dropping the back heel, and keeping your hips facing forward. Arms overhead with palms together or apart. Relax the shoulders down, and let's stay a few breaths. As you bend the front knee, just over the heel, scissor the right hip back. Pressing the left outer heel down, turn the left hip forward. Virabhadrasana 1. Slowly breathe in. Exhale your hands to the floor, optional vinyasa, or take a moment to rest. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Pausing for a few breaths. Notice your energetic state at this point of your practice. And feel how aligned you are to your intention, to your bigger picture for showing up. With every moment as a choice, continue to cultivate that alignment. And let's come back to downward facing dog. Feel your body breathe. And inhale, raise your left leg behind you, keeping your hips squared to the ground. Exhale, keep the shoulders balanced and cross the left knee to touch your right elbow or tricep, stacking the shoulders over your wrists. Step the left foot beside your left thumb and lower your back knee to a kneeling lunge. Inhale, raise the arms. So with legs hips width apart and left knee right on top of the heel, cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand, rooting the left leg solidly as you inhale to lengthen your spine down the midline of your mat. Across your waistline, exhale, twist to the left the same way if you can as you did on the first side. Either lower the right hand directly under the right shoulder on a block or the floor and raise the left arm up. Or hook the right elbow outside your left thigh and either join your hands in prayer, open the arms, or wrap, come into a bind. In any of those variations, you could also add lifting the back knee and tucking the toes. As you inhale, keep lengthening your spine down the center line of your mat, sending the shoulders down your back. As you exhale, hug your hips still and continue to rotate your rib cage. Parita Parshva Konasana, variation of revolved side angle pose. One more deep breath. Stay in your twist, gaze down at your left toes, then lower your hands on blocks or the floor. Step your right foot forward about 6 inches, shorter stance. Keeping the legs in their separate lanes, drop the back heel and straighten your legs. With both of your frontal hip bones evenly facing forward, activate your quadriceps and your abdomen. And inhale, stretch your spine forward towards a flat back. Exhale, hinge a little bit at your hips, breath by breath, into pyramid pose or Parshvottanasana. Inhale, lift your chest and lengthen your spine parallel to the ground. Keep the right hand down beneath your right shoulder. Use the left thumb to hook the left outer hip back as you exhale to twist to the left again. Raise your left arm up into revolved triangle pose, Parita Trikonasana.
Continue with each part of your breath. Inhale, ground to your feet and lengthen your spine down the center line of your mat. Exhale, keep your hips still and continue to rotate left ribs towards the sky, right ribs towards the left wall. If your balance feels pretty stable, you might place the right hand on the left side of your left foot. Stack your shoulders and your wrists. Couple more breaths. Stay in your twist and look at your left toes. Lower your hands on your blocks. Place the blocks on their tallest height, 1 foot in front of your left foot. Bend the left knee and lean forward into supported warrior 3. Right away flexing the right foot as you parallel your right leg and torso to the floor. Square your hips to the ground. Check in with your breathing. Virabhadrasana 3. Here, let's prepare for revolved half moon or Parita Ardha Chandrasana. Keep your hips leveled, keep your legs in their separate lanes, and your right foot active. Walk the right block to the left until it's about 1 foot in front of your left big toe. Use your left thumb to press your left outer hip back as you breathe in to stretch through both ends of the center line of your body. Hug the hips still and exhale, twist to the left, raising your left arm up, breath by breath, twisting. Two more breaths. Look at your blocks, place your hands on both, and walk the blocks towards your left foot. Step the right foot all the way to the rear of your mat, warrior 1. Rise up, and let's stay a few breaths. Virabhadrasana 1. Bending your left knee just over the heel, scissor your left outer hip back. Straightening your right leg, firm your outer right heel into the ground and turn your right outer hip forward. Inhale fully and exhale to the ground. Whether you choose to take a vinyasa or be still, let's meet again in downward facing dog. Now feel your breathing again. Does anything feel any different? Mind, body, energy. Bend your knees, look past your hands, but this time, visualize landing your feet to the outsides of your hands, turning out your legs from the hips in a squat. Either walk or float there, and you could choose to hover your pelvis off the ground or take a block and sit on it like a stool. Use your elbows to splay open your inner thighs and join your hands together in prayer. Lift your chest and roll your shoulders back and down. Let's cross the left arm to the inside of the left leg and raise the right arm up, turning your chest to face the sky in a twist. Maybe you wrap the right arm behind you and catch the top of your left thigh, or also wrap the left arm around the left shin and clasp the hands. One more deep breath. And gently unravel to center. Use your elbows again to splay your thighs apart. Lift your spine tall. Then cross your right arm to inner side of your right thigh. Raise your left arm, lift your spine, and twist to the left. Maybe wrap the left arm behind and hold your right thigh, or wrap the right arm around the right shin and clasp the hands for a few more breaths.
Exhale, unwind. One more time. Lift the spine tall in your squat, a variation of Malasana. Then plant your fingertips in front of you and parallel your feet, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees and roll up to stand. I'm going to show you a couple of options of playing in transition into hand to big toe pose, which we did a variation of sitting down in the beginning. So you could either use a strap. This is often how we practice it. You can step the ball of your right foot into the strap, holding the strap in the right hand to start, with the right arm inside the right leg and the left hand on the left hip. Then you can kick the right foot in front, making sure there's a little tug of war. You're kicking the strap and you're pulling it, and the left arm up. So we'll start here if you want to get into it this way, or you can start in a forward fold. In the forward fold, you'd place your left hand on your left hip, clasp your right big toe with your index and middle fingers, kick the ground away with the left foot, and kick your right fingers away with the right foot as you rise up, and then raise the left arm up. So find your way to get into the starting point of Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana. Sense the way you're breathing in that transition. And then we'll meet standing, left arm to the sky, dropping the right hip to level the height of your two hips, drawing the navel in and up. Then if you're holding a strap, hold the strap now in your left hand, still kicking into the strap and pulling it. If you're holding your big toe, hold the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Use your right thumb, like we've been doing, to hook the right outer hip down. So you're leveling the hips. Then press the left foot into the ground and stand up a little taller. Breathe in. Exhaling, twist to the right, keeping the hips facing forward, and reach your right arm towards your back wall. Inhaling, root down to your standing leg. Lift up through the center of your spine. Exhaling, keep turning across your waistline. You might look back towards your right thumb. So here's the standing version of revolved hand to big toe pose. Harita Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana. One more breath where you are. Stay in your twist, but gaze forward if you're looking behind you. Bring your hands to your hips, keep your right foot lifted. Inhale, and then exhale, step the right foot down. Maybe shake out the left foot or roll out the ankle for a moment. All right, so however you got into the first side, see if you can do the same on the second side. Experiment with it. Whether you take the strap into the ball of your left foot and start standing up, or you begin in a forward fold with right hand to right hip and clasp your left big toe, pushing off the right foot as you rise up to stand. Let's meet standing, right arm to the sky, in hand to big toe pose. Dropping your left outer hip down and drawing your navel inward and up. Then let's begin the twist. Hold the strap in your right hand or take hold of your outer left foot with your right hand. Keep kicking the foot forward and pulling with the right hand. Use your left thumb and hook the left outer hip down. Press into the ground and inhale, lift the energy up your center line. Exhale, keep your pelvis still and rotate your chest to the left. Reach your left arm behind you and continue exploring your twist with each part of your breath. Revolved hand to big toe pose. So in the context of these physical asanas, what are you cultivating internally? Oftentimes I find balance challenging postures help me personally address the fears that I have. So there are ways that I personally cultivate courage or resilience or confidence, even when falling. Start to look forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep your left foot lifted. Breathe in and step the left foot down. Maybe shake out the right foot. We have time
for one more active twist. So let's play with it. Grab your 2 blocks.
And falling is kind of another reminder to not take ourselves so seriously, right? It can feel really serious when we're really trying to sustain our balance in a pose and keep the focus going. But really, what do we do when we fall down? That's a huge part of the yoga practice. So let's take the 2 blocks, bring your feet together towards the top of your mat, stack your 2 blocks so they're tracing the direction of the mat, right? Behind your right foot and off to the right. So behind the right heel and out to the right. And let's begin in revolved chair pose. Let me actually show you where we're going so that you can have an idea. So we're gonna start in chair pose here, and then we'll twist to the right. You can opt to stay here, or you can actually sit your right glute onto the blocks and then come into a literal sitting twist, which will actually be a preparation for using the blocks in revolved crow pose, an arm balance. Let me move over from the singing blocks, singing bowls. So here you want to make sure that you get that twist as much as you can, because that will create stability. Your upper arm, your left upper arm, is going to be like a table that you're balancing your right thigh on. Then you'll place your hands flat on the floor, and you can lean your outer right hip onto the blocks. Look past your index fingers, and you're actually practicing it while sitting on the blocks, or pick up the pelvis and place your weight on your upper arms. So by looking on the ground ahead, you help to extend your weight forward and maybe get some air time with your feet. All right, let's begin in chair. Let's actually step the right heel in front of the blocks, touching the blocks. Join your hands at the heart and twist to the right. Revolve chair, Harita Utkatasana. Stay here for 5 breaths, keeping the left hip back, or sit on the blocks. Place your hands as close to the blocks as you can, with index fingers pointing at the right wall. Look past your index fingers on the ground and lean your chest forward. Use your upper arms to push off the blocks and lean your right thigh on your left upper arm or on both upper arms. And you are in Parita Kakasana, twisting crow. Whatever variation, let's come back up to stand and pause a moment and mountain pose. Palms facing forward, deep breath. And on this next round, make sure that your blocks are actually kissing the left heel. I'm not mirroring you on this round. And then bring your feet together to touch. Bend your knees. Sink your weight towards your heels to chair. Join your hands at your heart. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the left. Maybe hook the right elbow outside the left thigh. Either stay in twisting chair or actually sit on the block with your left glute. And prepare for the arm balance, twisting crow. Placing the hands flat on the floor with index fingers pointing towards the left wall. Look at the ground ahead of the index fingers and lean forward. Left thigh balancing on both upper arms or just on one upper arm. And when you're done, let's actually land on the floor seated. Set your feet on the ground, hips width apart, parallel to each other. Backstroke your arms and place your hands flat on the floor behind your pelvis so your fingertips are pointing back. Let's take a round of inverted tabletop, which will help to open up our hip flexors and fronts of our thighs from all that chair pose and twisting. So when you lift your pelvis, stretch the fronts of your thighs forward and try to stack your knees above your heels and your shoulders above your wrists. Lift the pelvis and try to get your thighs and torso parallel to the floor. 5 breaths, your count. Slide the shoulder blades down your back.
Tilt your chin slightly back, but lengthen the back of your neck. And then when you're done, come back down to sit. Press your feet on the floor and extend your arms forward, palms face up. Sit tall and relax the shoulders. Hug your front ribs in and allow a few breaths to very slowly lower onto your back. When you lower your head, arms down by your rib cage, slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. You might like to hug a block by the skinniest width right between your thighs to give lower back support, making sure you're not turning out your feet or your thighs. Bridge pose. Press the feet and shoulders down, tilt your chin back, and lift your hips. Walk the upper arms closer together under your back ribs and keep your arms straight. Maybe interlace the fingers. Stay for your count of 5 to 7 breaths, activating your hamstrings by keeping your feet still but isometrically dragging them back towards your glutes. While lengthening the fronts of your thighs forward, spin your inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Setu Bandha Sarvabhasana. Bridge pose. When you gently lower your spine and pelvis to the floor, pause here for 3 breaths and prepare for either one more bridge pose or upward facing bow, in which you flip your palms face down inside your ears. Important for upward bow is to not spine apart the elbows. Try to keep the elbows, shoulders width apart, so ears are curling around the legs. Draw the shoulders down back. And begin by placing the palm of your head on the floor, holding your breath between your thighs. Then if your body says it's okay, press down to your hands and feet, lift your head, and activate your hamstrings similarly as we did in bridge, while lengthening the front of your thighs forward and spinning your inner thighs slightly towards the ground. 5 to 7 breaths. Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. When you come down, go in reverse. Crown of the head to the floor, then gently one vertebra at a time. Keep your pelvis on the ground, your feet on the ground, and rest again for 3 breaths. Last back bend, bow pose. Let's roll over onto your stomach. Lying face down, slide your knees as close together as you can. Bend your knees, reach back with your hands to catch your outer or inner feet. Press your pubic bone into the ground and kick your feet back as you pull them towards your glutes. Lifting your knees high, try to keep your knees no wider apart than hips distance. Coil your chest up and look down ahead, lengthening the back of your neck. 5 to 7 breaths. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Once you've lowered, you might rest your forehead on your forearms and swing the legs side to side to help loosen your lower back for 3 deep breaths. Place your hands on the ground and gently lift your body up to sit, bringing your legs out in front of you. Let's take our last spinal twist sitting upright in great sage pose. Extend your left leg forward and either step your right foot on the ground in front of your right hip or cross the foot outside your left knee. You might also bend the left knee there. Make sure your 2 hips are down on the ground. Place the right hand behind your pelvis. Raise your left arm up and lengthen your spine as you breathe in. Keep your hips still and twist to the right as you breathe out, holding on to your right shin or hooking your elbow outside of the thigh.
Keep lengthening your spine as you inhale and twisting as you exhale. At the end of this exhale, unwind your spine. Keep the cross of your legs, and let's prepare for Gomukhasana. Hug the thighs close together, splay the feet apart, or straighten the bottom leg and flex the bottom foot, making sure the hips stay evenly grounded. Raise your left arm up. You might also dangle a strap from it, so the strap is hanging behind you. Rotate your left tricep forward and bend the elbow behind your head. Reach your right hand underneath, catch hold of the other end of the strap, and walk your hands as close together as you can, maybe clasping the hands. Press down to your hips, sit up taller as you inhale. Keep your throat open and begin to hinge forward from your hips as you exhale. Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Pressing down through your pelvis, breathe in, slowly rise up, release your arms and uncross your legs. Let's take the twist on side two. Step your left foot either in front of the hip or outside the right knee. Maybe bend the right knee, place the left hand behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm up, ground and sit tall as you breathe in. Twist to your left as you breathe out and hold your shin, or hook your elbow outside of your thigh. On this next exhale, unwind your spine and hug your thighs even closer together, splaying the feet wider apart or straightening the bottom leg and flexing the foot. Raise your right arm, maybe dangle the strap behind you, and rotate your right tricep forward. Bring the elbow behind your head and reach the left hand behind you under. Catch hold of the other end of the strap, walk your hands as close together as you can or clasp your hands. Then root your sitting bones down and breathe in, lift your spine tall. Breathe out, begin to hinge forward from your hips. Pressing down through your hips, inhale, slowly rise up. Release your arms and straighten your legs forward for one more posture before we rest. Paschimottanasana. You might move the flesh aside to root your sitting bones, flex your feet. Choose to either place a strap around the balls of your feet to hold, or to walk your hands down your legs and maybe clasp the big toes. Inhale, root through the hips and lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to hinge from your hips for a few breaths. Seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Pressing through your hips, inhale, slowly rise. And take your time setting your body up in a position that's comfortable and restful. Splay out the legs, maybe place a block under each knee. Turn the palms up by your sides. Close your eyes. Settle in for a few minutes in corpse pose, Shavasana. Resting here a little longer, keeping your eyes closed. Notice now how your physical body feels. Listen to any feedback it's giving you. Notice the sensations of the breath as it comes and goes naturally. What kind of feedback is it giving you about your energetic state? Bring your attention to your mind, observing your mental and emotional state. Begin to rub your thumbs across your fingertips, slowly moving the body, gently waking it up. Wiggle your toes, maybe gently turn your head. Circle out your feet, circle out your hands. And maybe curl up the corners of your lips. Stretch the arms overhead. And slowly roll over to your right side, resting your head onto your arm. Pause here and breathe. Hold space for what you're feeling from your practice. Take your time pressing the ground and lifting your body slowly to sit in a position in which you can feel alert and grounded and relaxed. Let's prepare to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. You might stack your palms on your lap, face up, thumb tips touching. You might rest a hand on your heart, a hand at your lower belly. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead. And now rest your awareness onto your body where you can feel the breath, the natural breath. Feeling the breath in the present moment. And feeling whatever arises within the present moment. Then coming back to the breath in the present moment. Let's continue this practice for a few more minutes. If you find yourself feeling stirred up by a thought or emotion or a sound that you've heard, bring your awareness to how you're feeling in your body in reaction to that. And let that feeling, which is happening in the present moment, bring you back to the breath again. Now bring your attention back to your physical body, still keeping the eyes closed if they are. Notice how you're feeling at the end of your meditation practice. Bring back the intention that you clarified at the start. What is your bigger picture for showing up and for continuing to show up to your yoga? And how are you relating to that bigger picture right now? And then bring back that person or community or cause that you chose to dedicate today's practice to. You might take a moment to visualize them, enjoying benefit from your practice. Then allow a deep breath in to your nose, fill up your lungs and belly. Exhale through the mouth, and let's close with 3 ohms. Inhale again. Bow in towards your heart center, bowing in to the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.